I figured for today's video, we would do just a very casual plant chores. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just opened the door outside too, so the cats would leave me alone while I was in here, but Chai is already coming in. Hi. Hi, buddies. Hi. So yeah, I'm getting ready to put my hair up because it is currently 77% humidity in this plant room because of the rainy weather. And it is 76 degrees in here, so it's very hot and humid. I'm trying to decide where I should start. I haven't put my fans back in my cabinet yet either. It's very quiet. I'm thinking I might like start with watering my cabinet because it's mostly just some props and some pond. So I feel like I can knock that out pretty quickly. And yeah, just kind of see what's going on in this plant room. These poles are getting so big. I chopped my Splendid last week and it's doing phenomenal. I'll show you her. And I have a massive new Monstera Adansonii leaf. It is like massive. They're very happy. I can definitely tell my plants are responding well to the new fertilizer. So I hope you enjoy this little casual afternoon vlog. And I think I'm gonna get my water started here and ready to go. And yeah, we'll start with our cabinet a little bit. I'm down here on the floor. I need to get a taller tripod because mine only goes up to like 4 feet maybe, and it's not tall enough because I'm tall. First thing I want to do is I got these little dropper bottles. I guess they're for essential oils. But the reason I got them, I think I got a 2-pack. I might have to get some more, but I just wanted to see how it goes with these. Okay, they're actually a nice size. I love that sound. Sweet, and this was only, I think this was only $7 or $8, I believe. So I have one that's a little bit darker in color and one that is clear. It's a dropper and it goes to 1 ml right here. And I think this is gonna be perfect for my stuff that I add into my water all the time. It comes with a little funnel and syringe too, and the syringe goes up to 3 ml, which is nice. I run my tap water through the Brita and then I fill my OJ jugs with the water, and then I add my stuff to the water. First thing I add is the stress coat. Now, actually, someone told me Brita doesn't actually filter like chlorine and stuff out of the water. So I'm glad I am using this stuff because this is supposed to remove chlorine and chloramines and detoxifies heavy metals. So it makes tap water safe. This is for like fish aquariums. I haven't really noticed if this is doing much to my plants or not yet. It's hard to say. I feel like crispiness and stuff is completely unavoidable. Like you're going to get it no matter what kind of water you're using. Just kind of rinse that out. So I wanted to use these little bottles to add my stuff in here. That way I can just add my little dropper to my water instead of like opening these up and pouring it in. I just think these little bottles will take up less space on my countertop. So I want to use, I think, this one for, the stress coat. And I think I want to use this one for my pH down and a clear one. And then I do want to get one more. I either might get this size or look into finding a bigger size for the actual fertilizer, although I'm not sure. I don't know if I can find a dropper that fits the bottle, but I'm finding it a little bit annoying to pour it out of here because I've spilled some and leaked some, and I feel like I'm wasting product when I do that. So this is I'm treating this like liquid treasure, liquid gold, and I don't want to waste it. So yeah, I need to find something for that. So I'm going to take my little funnel here and we're going to pour the stress coat into this one. That's so nice. And then I'll have to label these so I know what they are. Using my shirt because I don't have a towel. I'm washing towels. So yeah, that is much cuter in a little bottle like that. And then I can just store this below my sink here when I need to refill them. I just think I'm gonna like that so much better on my counter. Let's do our pH down. So after I add the stress coat, I add the fertilizer, and then I'll add the pH down. Now, is it necessary for you to add this in your water? I would say it depends on your water, and it depends on what all you want to do. Do you have to? I feel like if you're growing in like hydroponics, you'll want to manage your pH, but if you're just watering plants in soil, I don't really find you have to do this unless you want to dive into it. Oh, I'm gonna have some left over. I better not overfill it. I've used a ton of this pH down actually. I figured since this was in a clear bottle, the clear would be okay, and since the stress coat was in more of a opaque bottle, I would use this. Okay. Now I wish I bought another one for the fertilizer, but that's okay. If you are interested in the little droppers, I'll link them. They even made smaller ones that weren't as big as this one. But again, I don't know the exact size. I'll have to look. But I just think that's so cute. Okay, I just went on to Amazon and I bought another set, except they were pink this time. That way I have one clear, one amber color, and a pink one. I'll use the pink one for the fertilizer. That just made me so incredibly happy. So I just ran my water through. Now, I don't know how the syringes compare because I normally use like a 1 ml syringe. Let me see if the drops are any different. Let me add the stress coat first. I have a jug of water here. Let's bring it down this way. Okay. Yes, I think this is going to be about the same. I'm just adding like 5 drops of the stress coat. I had calculated it out before, but these aren't quite a gallon, so if I go a little over, then it's okay. See, that was already so much quicker. So I only add fertilizer in 2 jugs at a time because in case like I get tired of watering or I don't finish, I make sure to get through the fertilizer ones first, and I have like a little green tape on them so I can tell them apart. So I add fertilizer next, and I've been adding a little bit more fertilizer this time. So this is 2.5 mils, so I add 2 of these, so I'm doing 5 mils, which is still way less than the recommended dosing, but I feel like I'm still adjusting my plants to the fertilizer. I was just doing 2.5 mils, and this is not quite a gallon. Like this little orange juice jug isn't a gallon, so normally they recommend 5 mils per liter, which is this is a liter. I can definitely do like 3 scoops, but I feel like I'm working my way up. And plus, like, I'm going to go through this so quickly. So fertilizer is added in 2 of them. And then I usually give it a little toss. And then I will add my pH. And I usually do 4 to 5 drops. Okay, this is so much easier. Oh, that's awesome. And then I give it a little shake again and I'm ready to use it. I use the fertilizer ones pretty quickly. And since I'm not fertilizing my pond yet, I just use the water without it. So this is just the stress coat and the pH, and this is adjusted to around, I would say around a 6. Usually, sometimes if I'm feeling, sometimes I guess I add it closer to a 5.5 and sometimes it's like 6.5. I don't check every time, but sometimes I do if I am just wanting to check. But since I just changed the quantity with the dropper, I don't feel like it's probably the exact same amount. But let me just test. Let me test one that I added fertilizer to. Oops, see, I just dropped some. Yeah, I would say this is between a 6 and a 6.5 here. So that's okay. So my water is ready to go. And then I just stored like the extra under my sink here, the extra bottles. And now I don't have to worry about trying to fidget with the lids and stuff all the time and the droppers and getting the droppers stuck. So perfect. I highly recommend. I honestly haven't checked my cabinet since I cleaned it. And yeah, there's some thirsty things in here. Like this stratum is completely dry. Whoops. All of my moss, it's a tiny bit moist still, but you can tell if it goes another day, they're going to start stressing. I think the Cumarius mites have done their trick in here. There is, or not Cumarius mites, I got the Californicus. They're definitely hatching like crazy. They're like all over my plants. The Californicus, these ones. I should be expecting the resend on the mites this week. Well, I guess it'll be next week since it's already Friday, unless it comes tomorrow, which it very well could be coming tomorrow. Yeah, I just kind of water the stratum back up to the top. This one I did in the alocasia video. I've had the lid on this one, so I don't need to water that one. That one's staying moist. I took the lid off this one because the cats were playing with it and they lost it. So I just have to find out where the lid to that one went. Even if my stratum is still kind of moist, I will top them off just because I'm watering. In case I don't get a chance to water them in several days, I just bring the level back up to the top. It's just easier for me to do it this way. That was all my stratum. That was super easy. I have 4 plants that are in pond. So since I like rinsed them really good last time, I'm just gonna water over the top. So like here, I'm just gonna bring it back up to the max. I'm not going to check the cash pot or anything today. See, it's back up to the max. And sometimes I have to shake the little meter to get it to adjust. I did the Milano recently and I have it on a pole and it's staying so moist, you guys, in pond. I feel like the Milano has been happy so far since I did this. It's pushing the new leaf here and crossing my fingers, it's not going to get stuck or anything. You can kind of see it there, the new leaf. So this is the one that has the like questionable powdery mildew. You can kind of see it there on that leaf coming back. So I bought some 5s and 20 and I am going to go ahead and use it and treat this plant, I think, next. Let me just add a little bit more water in here. I definitely need to add my fans back in the cabinet because it needs some airflow with how humid it is, especially in here. I'm going to set that one on my table. Look at my little Anthurium seeds. Look at that little leaf. That's my hybrid, Clary and Potato radiatum. I can't tell you how freaking excited I am. Giving a little bit of water, no fertilizer or anything, just like a little drink. So I feel like the moss is drying just a little bit. I'm ecstatic for that. So freaking excited. My clary doesn't look, no, my clarinurbium is not thirsty. It's pushing a new leaf. I don't know if you guys can see right here. And then the inflow that I crossed, it hasn't yellowed off yet. It's going through the pollen phase now. And it's working on a new inflow down here as well at the base. So I feel like it was successful just because it's been over a week, 10 days, probably more than 10 days since I did that. And I feel like normally if it wasn't crossed, it would have yellowed off by now. So yeah, that makes me super excited. So that doesn't need watered. I'm gonna water my Gloriosum. Everything else looks good. And the only thing else I have to water in here is all my little seedlings. I normally, I started using fertilizer on them now since they're getting bigger. I'll kind of water through the top and then I leave excess water down here on this little tray for them to soak up from the bottom. And then with these little seedlings here, I just kind of pour water and then I'll leave some in the bottom reservoir and it'll kind of soak it up. I'm going to work on transferring these ones into their separate containers because they're getting so big, and I'm probably going to let some of these ones go because of that, so I can make more room. And then let's water our Gloriosum in here because this is a thirsty plant in that little container. And that's it. We are done in here. My tissue cultures are okay. I do need to fix those for another video. Oh, the Milano. The Milano is the only thing that we have to do and spray. So let's do that next. I was just reading up on the 5s and 20. This is a algicide, fungicide, bacterialcide, viralcide for non-porous surfaces, orchids, fountains, ornaments. I just got this in place of the copper fungicide. So it has an entire section here that's labeled precautionary statements. It's very hazardous. So make sure that you read this if you decide to try this out and take precautions. I put gloves on, and so with instructions, it's saying there's ones for orchids and roses. It's saying 2 teaspoons per gallon of water and spray until when symptoms appear. Spray upper and lower surface of leaves, branches with solution until thoroughly wet. Spray several times, 7 to 10 days apart. So yeah, definitely take precautions. It seems like it's very toxic. So I have just an empty gallon. This isn't distilled. This is just my tap water. I filled like half a gallon. So it said to do, since it says to do 2 teaspoons per gallon, I'm just going to use 1 teaspoon per half gallon. And then I'm going to very carefully pour some in a spray bottle here that I have that was extra. And then I'm just going to very carefully saturate the front and back of these leaves, like in my sink here, and let it dry, I guess. But I have gloves on. I'm just going to be very, very careful with it. And I was thinking about maybe if I should just do this outside, which I actually might go spray this outside. Actually, I don't think I want to open this up in here. I might not actually even use this. I might just calculate how much I need per bottle of this. This is 17 ounces. Okay, how I'm gonna do it is, so there's 64 ounces in here in a half gallon. And this tells me that there's roughly, it's 17 ounces. So basically there's a little less than 4 of these. So basically 4 of these, I'm just gonna round up. It's 3.8. So 4 of these is equal to this. So since a mill, or 1 teaspoon is 5 mils, it's basically a little over a mil, like 1.25 mils of the 5s and 20 into here. I can use one of my little droppers, but since it's a little less than 4, I'm just going to use 1 mil just to call it even. So I'll use 1 mil of the 5s and 20 in a 17-ounce bottle. I think that's a good close estimate of what I've calculated. So yeah. Next little task I want to do. I still haven't found a pot for my Aurea. It's still in this big bucket. I've only watered this once since that video. And she's getting ready. Not quite there to give me a new leaf, but she's doing it very well since I potted her into here. I definitely think she is just slowly but surely working on her root system. In that video where I potted her up, I added just a little acrylic stake right here. And for those that I guess don't know, I don't use like moss poles for Monstera specifically because I feel like their aerial roots grow wild. And in my experience, when I had them on a wire pole, their aerials literally grew in one end, straight through it, out the other, onto the floor. So I didn't really find a pole like having to keep it moist all the time for Monstera. It's not really necessary. You really just want to provide them some support for their aerials to anchor onto, which will help encourage them to climb. So I had ordered something online on Amazon, and this was like last month sometime, and it kept getting back ordered or something. Like I would go to order it and it just kept updating shipping. It was just like, okay, shipping this time, shipping this time. So eventually it was like 30 plus days out. I'm like, okay, I just canceled the order. So I got something else instead. This is just basic like Coir poles like here. And it has a 4-pack and wait a minute. feel like something's missing from this. Maybe not. I thought there was supposed to be a PVC base that plugs down into the soil, because how am I going to get this down into the soil? Unless it just uses these sticks and then it just sits on top of the soil. I got these specifically because it was a PVC pipe so that it wouldn't mold in the soil. I'm just using this for support. Like the aerials aren't going to grow into here or anything. I'm not using it like all of my other sphagnum moss poles. That's weird. I'm going to have to look at my phone at the order, because it comes with 4 poles that you can attach into one another, I believe. And then it comes with these sticks, which I thought from the footage, the sticks were just to help support the poles. And then it comes with all these green plastic wraps. And it has this in here, which I don't know what this is for. And then it has labels, so maybe they're just free gifts. I'm very confused. Oh, there's supposed to be a net liner. Is this the net liner? Okay, it has a little net liner that goes over the pole. Well, that's cool. It says to soak the coco coir moss pole first to absorb water fully and then spray them regularly. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not using that as like a moist pole. The long green steel wire provides help to further support the coco coir. Okay, so here's like what they're showing on the picture here, but it's not showing me the bottom of the pole. So my question is, how am I going to get this in the plant with, oh, it's in here. I think it's stuffed down in here. Okay. I knew I wasn't losing my mind. I'm like, I thought it came with an anchor. Okay, well, how do I get it out? Does that not come out? I am very, very confused as to what the heck this is. Oh, it pushes up. Okay, that's what I saw online. That's what it was supposed to be, because I wanted this so it wouldn't mold or anything when I stuck it down in my soil. And so that's a lid, and then you can anchor two onto each other when it's time. Okay, so I'm going to remove this clear acrylic, and then I'm going to use this down in here. I'm just going to kind of gently, hopefully I don't break too many roots, just slide this down in here. And then as it climbs, I can just add the other one. And so I have a total of 4. This pack has like 2 more I can do. How much did I pay for this? It wasn't that expensive. I feel like it was maybe 20 bucks for 4 poles. Do I like the look of this wet net over it though? Chai buddy? So you can use this to help anchor it down in here. Okay. The provided white net is used to wrap the extra moss you ordered. But I didn't order any extra moss. Is this saying, I don't know. I'm very confused by this netting. I guess if you want like a white look, you could wrap it, or if you want to add extra moss, I guess you could add extra moss inside and anchor it on that way. It's like a little sock if you wanted. I don't know how you would fit extra moss in here over the pole. I kind of like the look of the white around here. Oh, it comes with this too. I guess extra cocoa coir wire. This is a nice little set. I'm so happy with this so far. Took me a minute to figure it out, but I got it. So I can just anchor the plant on this way. But do we like the little sock or no? I might have to order another one of these just to have so that I can get the exact same style for when they grow really tall. I think I'm going to keep the white plastic. I really like the look of that. I like it, guys. What do you think? It looks so good. That way it'll climb without, and the aerial roots can still like attach onto here. It'll use this for support. I like that. And that's what it'll be with two. And then over time I could replace this with a thicker stake, like a taller one to help support it once it gets really tall. And I'll probably end up doing this for my elbows too, because I have this one here that's starting to, it's pushing a new leaf right here. And it's starting to push out an aerial root. So I feel like maybe I should go ahead and support this one. My other one doesn't need supported just yet. I really love that. That looks so good. I'm obsessed already. I'm so happy with it. That's what she's looking like up from the front, back. And I'm still working on finding a pot for her. I'm gonna let those water a little bit and soak in. I'm gonna start over here and over here. And yeah, that's really all I'm gonna do tonight is just kind of finish up watering. That's all I really feel like doing. I need to bring my Milano back in. Oh, I did get some silica. I had questions about silica come up. I'm gonna film my Q&A next week, but about the silica, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Did I mention that earlier? But I am gonna start using it and testing it. I'm not gonna use it today because I don't feel like trying to mess with that. Oh, I do wanna show you a few like leaves. I think maybe I'll show you a few little updates here and then we'll get to ending this because yeah, I'm just gonna finish watering up and that's pretty much it for this evening. Alocasias are doing well. I did those recently, those 3, and they're hanging on. I have some new leaves coming in on these ones. Look at this variegated leaf that came in. I bought this as a variegated one. It's just not that variegated and it usually kind of fades as it hardens. I have a new Magnificum leaf here coming in. Oh, I just noticed my Thai is very thirsty. You see how the bottom leaves are drooping? This is one that I haven't repotted yet. Yeah, it is super dry. So let's water this guy. I'm just gonna water it over the top. I'll probably have to repot this one at some point here. Whatever's left over will kind of absorb. And this little ficus I have in my window, this one is the Shruriana, but it's not the one that I brought in from outside. This is the one that I bought from that little green escape. It kind of is drying out quickly too, so I usually just give that a good little drink. And then my little mint is doing okay. I feel like it could probably use water soon. Let me see how dry it's getting. Look at that like node it's formed. I guess this was a tissue culture. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? That is very interesting. It's like a big ball of tissue or something. So I have more nodes coming back here. I have 1, 2, 3 spikes. Do you see that? And then I have like all these nodes forming in the front that are mostly very white. I guess this is because it's from tissue culture, but like what the heck is that doing? I'm gonna go ahead and water it just because it gets a lot of light up here. Oh, there we go, making a mess per usual. I'll definitely keep you updated on that. Oh, my little air plant fell. I actually gotta water these guys. This one goes all the way up there. Oh, I do want to give you an update on, I have new Hoya blooms coming in on my Polynura. I noticed it the other day, or new peduncles. Mine hasn't bloomed yet, but you can see there's some peduncles, which is so freaking exciting. I have some forming on many of them. My Polynura started from a cutting and it's like self-propagated. It's just literally one vine up top and all these have grown in from the one vine. It is so stinking cool. This pearls is growing back in. I had tried to salvage this. You can see there's some like healthy strands growing. There we go. Look at all these healthy, sorry if you hear a plane, all these healthy ones growing back in. So I'm very happy. I did the same thing to the regular pearls and you can see how plump it is now. It's all growing back in. Yeah, I have some pole work to do over here and I have a new leaf coming in on my El Choco right here. It's going to be a big leaf, I can already tell. And I took my serpents out of the cabinet. I told you that, I think. Yeah, I have a lot of like props and stuff to take care of over here. This is the Anthurium I got from Jonah. It's such a cool leaf. And then anything that I want to update you on with my poles, look at this Gentiana. Look at that. Just gorgeous. And this huge Adansonii leaf, like my hand, compared to this ginormous leaf, it is humongous. My Majestic is getting ready to push a new leaf. Sorderoy just pushed one. And my most recent chop that I did, my Philodendron Splendid, you can actually see it's wanting to push its growth here. So that's cool. It doesn't appear to have shocked at all, which is a good thing. A lot of my alocasias are up here on the cabinet. They're not really getting any light up here, but it's just temporary. I feel like they would be fine for a week. I feel like for the most part, they look okay. Like they all still look happy. So whatever decides to rot will rot, but for the most part, I haven't lost any leaves. I actually haven't touched these or done anything with them, but they're just kind of hanging out up there. And there's my beautiful Phrydex. I didn't show you my Phrydex. This one just pushed this leaf here. It's huge. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leaves on my Phrydex. And there's the smaller one there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move my Forgetii over to Pawn. This is one that I've kind of rehabbed back. This is the original leaf. It's very, very sad, but it has this new leaf, and I believe this is a possible inflorescence, and this is a new leaf. It has like 2 spikes here, and it has tons of healthy roots that have grown back in. And I believe moss transfers to Pawn just fine too, because I've done that before. I really want to cut this leaf off. I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at cutting leaves off that aren't the prettiest looking. But I think I'll leave it for now. I feel like if I get a new leaf, then I'll probably cut this one off. I think this just got the way that it did because of the rot and everything that it went through. I love Forgetii. It's one of my first Anthuriums that I purchased back in the day. I have one of these containers left. I need to order more. Uh-oh. Oh. I think Anthurium and Alocasia are the main plants that I'm going to do in Pawn. Not all of my Anthurium, but because this one was in soil and it didn't do well, I'm going to move it to Pawn. Whoa. I'm very excited to get this one potted up. It is time. Look at those chunky roots. Definitely time. Anthurium roots are some of my favorite because they're so chunky. I don't know about you guys, I just think they're so cool. I hope it's focusing. There we go. Yeah, they're just so cool. I'm just gonna pluck away and kind of pluck back in this container. It's not overly rooted, so I feel like it shouldn't be too bad. And I just watered this, so I feel like it should come off pretty easily. I cannot believe next week is a holiday. It just is crazy how quickly it's like going by, the whole month of November. Ooh, there's some rot in there too. Ooh. Is that stem rotted? Or, oh yuck, the bottom part of that. Like the old stem is like rotted. Ew. I'm gonna have to cut that away. My crystal that I rehabbed at the same time isn't doing well. I feel like I'm gonna unpot it. It had rot and I had put it back in soil, and just from looking at it, I don't feel like it's happy in soil, so I might have to reroot that one and then do the same thing, put it into pond. So you can see this old stem here is like rotted up until like here. And you can just see like the old roots, some of them had rotted in the moss. So what I'm gonna do is just cut away any roots that are rotted still. Oh, you can't see what I'm even doing. Whoops, sorry. Back in frame. I'm just cutting all the rot away. Oh, I did not just break this off. Are you kidding me right now? I cannot believe I just did that. I'm so mad at myself. What the heck, Melissa? Okay, note to self, don't press up on the Anthurium stem because you're gonna risk it just popping off like I just did. Welp, that was just another setback. Okay, I'm gonna cut like here. Oh my God. And that cut clean, do you see? Let's cut that bottom chunk away. I'm so mad that I did that. What the heck? Okay, I think we got the rot kind of cleaned away. So that's what we're working with here. So what I'm gonna do is just quickly take this to my bathroom sink and just rinse it under lukewarm water and kind of get all this moss off, and then I'll be right back. I think it'll be okay if I go ahead and pot it. I guess if it rots, I know what I did wrong. I'm gonna shove this. Actually, kind of a small pot for the root system, but that's okay. I'm just gonna shove it in here and let it settle in. That looks good, like that. And we're just gonna fill up. So there we go. I just have to water this through and that'll be it. So mad at myself that I did that. So mad. But at least she's potted up, so hopefully she'll grow some new roots in some time. Hopefully that stump doesn't continue to rot. I don't think it will. I think it'll be okay because I feel like moss transfers have done well for me, the ones that I've done. And they were Anthuriums, both of them, and they did well. So I think it'll be okay. So I'm gonna water this through and put this one back, and I'm trying to think. I wish I had more of these containers because I would do another plant real quick, but I need to order more. I really like these self-watering planters. I don't really want to use one that's not self-watering. It just has been working really well for me. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little afternoon watering session, plant chores. I'm glad I was able to get some stuff done, like spraying the Milano. The little bottles are going to be such a time saver for me. I cannot wait to get the other one in for the fertilizer because, yeah, I may have to refill that one often, but that's okay. At least I won't worry about spilling it so much. And then I got the pole added in the Monstera, so I feel I got some stuff accomplished. I will have the stuff that I used in today's video linked down in the description. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys again very soon.